Chief Sybil, I've cleaned up the office you were using before.
Consider it one of the perks of your promotion to Major. That's your workspace now. His Majesty himself approves. Your achievements, capturing spies from the Elysian Church, suppressing the Forsakens, and neutralizing large filthoids, haven't gone unnoticed by His Majesty.
I owe it all to your leadership, Chief.
Save it. We don't entertain sycophants in the 13th Legion. Use your head. Be smart with what Randy taught you.
Damn it, he's duped me again.
Since you're here, it's clear you have uncertainties, even as a major. Let's hear them.
Right. I've come across some of your personal items while clearing out the office, and I thought you might want to have a look, Chief. These documents have the Spathatoy crest on them. They seem quite old. You've always dealt with matters related to the Spathatoy personally, so I didn't pry. How would you like to proceed with these documents, Chief?
These are just some old lists of smuggled items from the Spathatoy that Randy put together for the case years ago. They can be discarded now.
Lists of smuggled items? Aren't these vital evidence?
The 13th Legion operates directly under His Majesty's command. Our actions are guided by objectives, not by evidence. Your confusion is understandable. Until now, your enemies have been external, and you've yet to witness the internal machinations. Let's take this chance to bring you up to speed. When our missions intersect with other internal organizations, the process becomes irrelevant. The 13th Legion focuses solely on achieving the results His Majesty desires.
Mr. Willers, you stand accused of smuggling alchemical equipment to the black market. Would you prefer to come quietly, or shall I assist you?
I'm a senior alchemist. Even with the Emperor backing the 13th Legion, you cannot simply do as you please. Shh.
I'd advise you to think carefully before you speak. If this is just about smuggling, the lucky ones might still be spared. But if you slander and question His Majesty, then it would be considered treason. You know what? You might as well go on. It saves me the trouble of dragging you back. I could just shoot you on the spot. Come on, keep talking.
No, I am utterly loyal to His Majesty and the Empire. I harbor no ulterior motives. Those devices were faulty, so I thought it better to exchange them for money to buy new ones than to let them go to waste.
Those devices might be useless to the Academy, but if they end up in the hands of the Forsakens, or even worse, the Elysians through the black market, have you considered the consequences? They could reverse engineer our tech through those rejects, which would lead to more casualties. The money you've made through smuggling is tainted with the blood of our soldiers fighting at the front. They won't accuse you, for they are fallen heroes. And you're just a vile vulture circling there. The Empire has no need for loyalty-chanting flies.
No, please. In Hyperborea, my smuggling amount wouldn't warrant a death sentence. You even said it yourself I could live. I demand a fair trial.
Well, I said the lucky ones.
That's certainly simple and efficient.
It's not that simple. The 13th Legion only takes orders from the Emperor. In the shadows, we are His Majesty's hidden blade. But in the light, we also serve as the messenger of his benevolence. Executing a smuggler didn't close the case. We still needed to gather the alchemists together to deliver a message.
I bet they were too scared to even speak.
That was true. But what awaited them wasn't execution, but a speech announcing increased funding for the Spathatoi, with Willers' corpse nailed to the podium. The Empire advances like a rumbling war chariot, and it cannot do without the Academy as its engine. If we let a single act of smuggling impede the Academy's research progress, that would be going against His Majesty's wishes.
So the rest of them just got off the hook, just like that?
A spectacle of deterrence would suffice. All have witnessed the fate of those who betrayed the Empire. The vermin and parasites like Willers would live in perpetual fear, dreading the knock at their doors every night. Those fence-sitters would breathe a sigh of relief, grateful for their prudence before making the wrong choice. While the loyal, through the purge of the sinful and the commendation of the virtuous, will further cement their faith in His Majesty's justice. Carrot and stick, the golden rule for commanding loyalty. We must tolerate some impurities, adjusting our grip as necessary.
Sounds too complicated for me to understand. I'm starting to think becoming a major isn't all that great for me. Maybe I should stick to what I understand, like getting rid of this list.
Don't let the pressure overwhelm you. The 13th Legion spells death for our enemies, but serves as a steadfast anchor for our allies. Take Randy. He'll help you navigate the minutiae.
Randy? He's tricked me more times than I can count.
His tricking you is also a lesson in disguise. He would never truly harm you. Though the smallest in number, the 13th Legion is composed of the Force's finest warriors. You need to learn how to blend in and build rapport with everyone.
All right, I'll give it my best shot. Chief, the lists of smuggled items have been dealt with. All that's left is a broken recorder and an old photo for your review. The recorder just keeps buzzing non-stop when it's on. I almost thought it was some kind of torture device.
That one. Just leave it here. Though I have many like it, one more won't hurt. As for what's on it, it's no surprise you don't know. It's the sound of an airship engine model used over a decade ago. Modern Empire airships prioritize stability and endurance, unlike during that war when speed and firepower were all that mattered.
You mean the Divine Elegy offensive against the Elysian Church more than 20 years ago, right? In that battle, the 13th Legion stormed their tower in prototype airships. That's a story even kids in the street can sing a verse or two about. And it was your valor in that battle that made you the youngest chief in Empire history.
We bypassed the hot zone at the border and struck directly at their normally untouchable tower, reaching the God's lair for the first time. It's a tale worth retelling indeed. But for the 13th Legion, or more precisely for me, the campaign brought not only glory, but also anger and shame. All 12 officers who attacked the tower were killed. Had I not been left to guard the airship outside, I might just be another number on the casualty list. Behind the glory was our grievous defeat. My last memory of that battle is piloting an out-of-control airship, weaving through relentless artillery fire and magical barrages across the border. This recording takes me back to that airship, to that moment. It reminds me of the smell of blood in my nose and the weary roar of the engines in my ears.
That explains why you always choose the spot closest to the engine on flights.
This is war. It changes people. I've seen too many soldiers in hospitals, still haunted by the war long after leaving the front. Sometimes a ceremonial cannon or even a child's toy gun can trigger a breakdown. War leaves its mark even on the toughest among us. Take the chief of the 11th Legion stationed at the border, who sleeps with one eye open. In that campaign, their forces held off the bulk of the Elysian army at the border, bearing just as much burden and bloodshed as we did.
Is that why you replay this recording over and over? Out of guilt over your comrades' deaths?
No, just to keep myself sharp. When I feel tired, it helps me focus. Many dwell on past failures, lamenting their impotence, wallowing in guilt, and torturing themselves. But to me, failure is the scar of the past. It's a harsh reminder for me to keep pushing, to climb from all the pain and shame to victory. I honor my comrades' sacrifices, which is precisely why I refuse to fall as they did. Pausing for breath or to mourn the fallen before claiming final victory would only squander their sacrifices. Many call me cold-hearted, and some even cite my humble origins, claiming that cruelty is in my Charon blood. But in the end, they'd forget the failures and even the names of the fallen, just buzzing like bugs before they perish. All that remains is me, bearing the scars of defeat, continually climbing upward.
From my perspective, Chief, you've already reached heights many can't even dream of.
No, it's not enough. The 13th Legion bears a true ideal not yet known to the world. Some of those born into privilege have long been drunk with fame, power, and glory. They only look downward, always plotting to shove those bearing true ideals off the cliff. Nobles who can barely ride or understand the basics of command don't belong in this country. I cannot afford to mark time like they do. I must climb higher, to the utmost power. When that time comes, we shall lead the Hyperborean Empire, no, all of humanity, into a new tomorrow. Do you understand, Lin?
Honestly, I didn't quite follow. You know, I'm just here for the cash. Didn't have much choice. But if you're saying big changes are coming, then when they do, I'll definitely fight my hardest to protect my family. Didn't have much choice on that either.
I appreciate your candor, Lin. However modest, you have something worth fighting for. That's all that matters.
we go. Try this berry.
Okay. So why were you so eager to take the ladle from me earlier?
Because you were about to add pomegranates to the fish soup?
What's wrong with that? I remember you used to love pomegranates when you were little. Remember last year when we walked past that big pomegranate tree? You picked a whole bag of them. Too bad they all rolled down the hill when you slipped. You said it was such a waste. So this time, I picked some. Just for you. Don't you like them anymore?
It's not about the pomegranates. It's just that pomegranates and fish might not taste good together.
But you like berries dipped in milk. It's hard to buy milk here on this island, so I thought soup would work just as well.
It's really not the same. Fish soup has a strong, salty, fishy taste, so it doesn't go well with sweet fruits. Plus, fruits are best eaten fresh. They'd lose their crunch if boiled. And even if you were to cook pomegranates, you should at least peel them first.
Oh, this is way more complicated than I thought.
It is. The interplay of ingredients is a culinary art. Only the right combinations bring out the best in each. That's what they say in the art of cooking.
So the funny sour taste in that stew last time was because I added berries?
I think so.
And the time you said the shrimp was too rich, was it because I used honey instead of salt? I thought honey was better since it's more expensive.
That's right.
Ah, so I messed up all those times. I've heard that honey is sweet. Sweetness is good, while bitterness, like in chicory, is bad. But I can't really tell what sweet or bitter tastes like. I was taught very young that food is just a means of filling the stomach. Tasty food is a distraction from what's important and might lead to indulgence. So I wouldn't need a sense of taste. They made me drink a potion, and ever since then, I haven't been able to taste anything.
Perry.
Sorry I've made you eat so much awful food.
Not at all. Your cooking is usually great. Those were just minor hiccups. Everyone has off days. I always look forward to trying whatever new dish you've invented. And you know what? It's the author of The Art of Cooking who has no taste. They don't appreciate innovative ingredient combinations.
You really think so? Or are you just saying that?
Have I ever lied to you?
Right. Well, can you tell me what a pomegranate tastes like?
It's a bit sweet, a bit sour, and... well, let's keep that a secret for now.
Why?
Tasting is something you should experience yourself. If it's the potion that made you lose your taste, there's got to be something that can bring it back, right? All right. Starting today, I'm going to earn as much as I can so that I can soon get off this island to find that cure. Once your sense of taste is back, we'll try all the delicious food out there in the world and buy loads of your favorite pomegranates.
The world beyond this island.
Home at last. Quick, Berry, take a seat.
Huh?
You got hurt, didn't you? Let me see your hand. I'll bandage you up.
It's okay, just a scratch.
Don't fight me on this.
Okay.
How many times have I told you? Always protect yourself first when there's danger. Like with that sea eagle just now. Why didn't you just dodge? Why did you have to confront it head on and get scratched? Does it still hurt?
You were right behind me. If I had dodged, it would have hurt you.
I could have dodged it too.
I'll be more careful next time.
You always say that. When we were kids, some bad grown-ups often picked on us. But you'd rather fight them head-on than back down with smart words. And you always ended up bruised and battered. You'd always promise to be more careful next time. But every next time turned out to be another, sorry, I'll be more careful next time.
I'm not like you. You're good with words and always know what to say to different people. But I can't do that. People are too complicated. I never really understand what they really mean. For me, the only way to solve problems is with what I have in my hands. If not weapons, then fists. Or teeth.
It's okay. If you're not great with words, I'll speak for you. Just like you've always protected me like a shield. But you have to promise me to break this charging head-on habit, okay? You're strong now. You don't have to put yourself in danger anymore. It must hurt a lot.
Pain is nothing. It'll pass if I just bear it for a while. Those who don't fear pain have no weaknesses. This way of fighting is the most efficient.
Fine. If it works so well, guess I should learn it too. Next time there's danger, I'll just charge right in.
You... No, it's different for you.
What's the difference? Just saying that worries you, doesn't it? You should know how your habit worries me too. So, at least for my sake, take good care of yourself, okay?
Breaking a habit isn't easy, but I'll try.
Let's really make it stick this time.
That was 6 months ago. I'd gone to visit Roger Gaston, a wounded veteran of the war against the Elysian Church on the Southern Front.
Emilia, you've come.
Yes, Father. I've come to see you. I brought you some pastries and honey from Dismania's most famous bakery. I hope you like them.
Come a little closer, Emilia. Let me have a good look at you. You've gotten so tall. And so thin. Life at the Academy is still wearing you out.
It's all right. I've been doing fine. Everyone at the Academy's been kind, and they've really looked after me.
No. Every time Emilia talked about the Academy, she'd cry. She always regretted going there. You're not Emilia. Who are you?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gaston. My name is Daphne Theodore. I was Amelia's friend. I came to visit on her behalf.
Oh, forgive me, Miss Theodore. I can't even stand to greet you properly. I've become so forgetful lately. I can barely tell dream from waking. And recently, I keep seeing Amelia. She's so small, just like when she was little, jumping down the stairs into my arms, calling out, "Daddy."
Mr. Gaston, I'm...
No, child, don't be. I remember now. Amelia was buried a month ago. Kind nurse wheeled me to the service. I left her old rubber duck on the grave. She often spoke of you, Miss Theodore. Said you were her closest friend. Please, be careful. The Academy is a dangerous place.
I knew exactly what Mr. Gaston meant. Amelia Gaston, my dear friend, had died in an accident at the Spathatoy. Mr. Gaston, are you in pain? I'll get the doctor.
No, child. My legs are done for. Too long in the trenches. One's been amputated. The other's rotted through. Hurts like hell. But what of it? I'm still breathing. That's more than I can say for the others, right?
Mr. Gaston's pain flared up again. His fists clenched the sheets, veins bulging. He wasn't clinging to life. He was clinging to dignity. The last thing a soldier has left.
Miss Theodore, please. Just shoot me. I'm worthless now. I can't even get out of this bed. And now even my only daughters. I'll put it in my will. Swear it was my choice. I've got no family left anyway. You can even take my old house. Please, I'm begging you. Put me out of my misery.
No, Mr. Gaston, I can't do that. Please, hang in there. Just a little longer. 1 year? No, 6 months. I swear by the Emerald Order, I'll find a cure. Please, don't give up. Amelia would never have wanted that. After the episode passed, the bed finally stilled. Mr. Gaston drifted off, sobbing quietly. Whether it was the pain or Amelia's name, I couldn't tell. But something had soothed him. For some, pain is a fate much crueler and more humiliating than death. Like a river stone worn smooth over time, it grinds down even the toughest, stripping away their pride and fire. His comrades and daughter rest in the public cemetery, and this small white bed is his grave. That day, by his bedside, I finally made that decision.
Thank you for having me, my child. It's been many years since I've had the pleasure of sitting down and conversing with a friend like this. I must admit, I do miss it.
Many years? How long are we talking about?
It has probably been over a decade, I would say. And before that, perhaps a few centuries.
Huh?
I must have caught you by surprise. In truth, my age stretches far beyond the land beneath our feet, older than even the Hyperborean Empire itself.
I didn't realize you had so many years of wisdom, Lady Nifel. It's truly an honor to speak with you.
There is no need for such formality. Think of me simply as a friend, someone with whom you may share your thoughts. But tell me, what would you like to discuss? I have long distanced myself from the fleeting trends of the world. However, if you seek stories from distant lands or times long past, I would not mind sharing what I know.
I recall you saying that you were a ferrywoman of the Misty Sea. I must admit, I'm still not entirely clear on what that means.
Perhaps you've heard of the Charon Law. In the beginning, the world was a chaotic sea of mist. From this mist arose the sacred tree, its branches adorned with pure white flowers. These flowers gave birth to our primordial ancestor, the goddess of life, Mother Embla, from whom all living things came. All life emerged from the Misty Sea. After drifting through the river of the mortal realm, all things eventually return to the Misty Sea. The role of the ferrywoman is to guide wandering souls back to the Misty Sea. Thus, I spend most of my time listening to the murmurs of the departed, responding with whispers.
That sounds rather...
Yes. To most, death is indeed a terrifying notion. Since the topic has arisen, allow me to share with you a tale about death. It is the story of a girl and her ailing younger sister. The girl and her sister were born into poverty in Elysium. Orphaned at a tender age, they had no choice but to fend for themselves, enduring both hunger and cold. Alas, one harsh winter, the younger sister succumbed to a fatal illness. Desperate to save her sister, the girl searched far and wide for any possible cure, yet none came. It was then that she heard a tale from an old man. It is said that a woman, blessed by the gods, was once revered by the nobles of Elysium. Her blood, believed to cure ailments and preserve youth, was as precious as gold. Countless nobles offered vast sums of gold for but a single vial of her blood. Yet, before long, war descended upon Elysium. During the Great Migration, she was taken by rebels, and her whereabouts were lost to history. Driven by her resolve to save her sister, the girl set out on a long and arduous journey. Eventually, much to her astonishment, she discovered that the woman was still alive, over a century old, and living in Aethery, the woodland kingdom. So, the girl carried her dying sister through mountains and rivers, and finally, they found the so-called Blessed Woman. Cradling her nearly lifeless sister, the girl tearfully begged for just a drop of her miraculous blood. But the golden blood, once believed to be a divine gift, turned out to be nothing more than a myth. A tale spun by the greed of the nobles to conceal their own sins. In truth, the woman had been imprisoned for her healing powers, enduring great suffering before finally escaping Elysium. She had long since decided never to use her abilities again, lest they cause even more pain and suffering.
So the girl went through all that for nothing? No, wait. Since you've spent so much time telling the story, surely it's not over yet.
You're perceptive. After much hesitation, the woman eventually agreed to help.
Why would she do that?
Because, you see, the woman had not fully closed her heart to the idea of healing others. Twice before, she had tried to use her blood to extend the life of others. Once for her closest friend, and once for her daughter. Her friend was a valiant warrior, fatally wounded on the battlefield. Her daughter, a respected scholar, was peacefully nearing the end of her days. Although their circumstances were vastly different, their decisions were the same. Both refused to accept the woman's blood, choosing death over a life prolonged by such a means. The sorrow in the girl's eyes reminded the woman of her own past, and her thoughts turned to a question that had long lingered. What could have been had she been able to save her friend and daughter? What might the path she did not take have offered? She needed to know the answer. So, she cut her own arm and gave her blood to the girl. The ailing little sister drank the golden blood and soon regained consciousness. You are a kind child, but the so-called miraculous blood is, in truth, but an illusion. It is a fantasy people have chosen to believe in. The woman's blood did possess a unique power, but it neither cured disease nor halted the process of aging. Instead, it preserved the body in a state of mere existence. Like an insect trapped in amber, unspoiled yet not truly alive. So, after drinking the blood, her little sister did not die, but her body was still in an irreversible decline. She could do nothing but lie in bed, struggling even to swallow water. She could not taste her food, nor understand the words on the pages, nor hear clearly her sister's voice. The girl took on various odd jobs, hoping to have enough time to stay by her sister's side and take care of her. To make ends meet, she had no choice but to take on the most grueling work, the kind that others would avoid. Her will was indeed unwavering, desperately clinging to the hard-won miracle. Yet her frail body couldn't withstand the constant strain, and each day she came closer to collapse. Eventually, the younger sister chose to end her own life. With the last of her strength, she pushed the small vial of miracle, the one her elder sister had so desperately begged for, to the ground and shattered it. Perhaps, in the end, she realized that this so-called miracle was but a pair of heavy shackles for both herself and her elder sister. It was I who guided her soul to the misty sea. Would you care to guess what she said to me?
From the look on your face, I imagine she said something gentle, like, "Thank you."
You are quite perceptive. I may have been too subtle, and perhaps not as sincere as I should have been.
She expressed her gratitude to her elder sister, and to that woman as well. Though her life ended in suffering, it was through this very suffering that she found peace, and upon hearing this, the girl wept, breaking into profuse apologies. Yet, in the end, she spoke but a single word of thanks, directed at the urn carrying her sister's ashes as it drifted away. The girl later journeyed to Aethery, where she became a skilled physician and settled there. After starting her own family, she visited the woman, sharing with her that she had found happiness in her life. It was then, in that moment, that the woman finally understood why her friend and daughter had refused to let her save them. In the grand design of life, death is not always an unwelcome guest. At times, it arrives with quiet grace, like petals drifting from a flower as fruit begins to ripen, marking not just an end, but the birth of something new. To resist death is to remain in stasis. It may actually cause them to miss out on the beauty life has to offer. You're a strong and compassionate child. However, this story reflects only the perspective of that woman. Do not let it weigh heavily on your heart. You are free to carve your own path, should you choose. I believe that no matter the path you take, as long as you remain clear of mind and not led astray by falsehoods, you will find the right way in the end. Greetings, my child. You seem weary. Has something...
Since leaving my homeland, I've been through so much and experienced many regrets. At times I feel so powerless, as though all my efforts will be in vain. Lady Nightfall, as someone with centuries of wisdom, do you have any advice for me?
I see. Well, let me share another story with you. This is a story about a young man and a young woman, one filled with hope, courage, and dreams of the future. The story takes place a millennium ago, when Elysium was the only nation on the continent. One was a commoner, the other a noble. The young man, born a commoner, developed a profound love for books from an early age, particularly history and mythology. Even as a youth, his vast knowledge became widely known, and many expected him to become a great scholar. But the more he read, the more he learned. And the deeper he thought, the more he came to realize that this land was rife with injustices. What people had come to accept as normal was not always right. The commoners toiled endlessly, barely scraping by, while the priests dined in excess. Beneath the loud chorus of hymns, the cries of the innocent could be heard, condemned as heretics, and executed beneath the gallows. Of course, one of those cries belonged to a young girl, said to possess the golden blood. By day, she trembled as she slit her arm, offering her blood to those who came to worship her. By night, she curled in her cell, weeping in pain and praying for mercy from the gods. One day, the young scholar ventured into the temple and delivered an impassioned speech to the gathered crowd, all of whom sought the so-called golden blood. In response, however, all he received was the sharp point of the guards' spears. He was thrown into a cold, damp cell, where, by a twist of fate, he encountered another key figure in the story, the noble young woman who had arrived with her father for an inspection. The young woman had a deep passion for riding and martial arts, and beneath her spirited nature was a kind and compassionate heart. When she came across the misguided young scholar, one of her own age, she couldn't help but feel sympathy for him. In secret, she visited his cell, hoping to persuade him to confess and earn a lighter sentence. But the scholar insisted on his innocence. He even urged the young noblewoman to awaken from her own ignorance. He revealed to her that the girl said to possess the golden blood whom people revered was in fact a poor soul held captive by a powerful nobleman, the noble young woman's very own father, who sought to profit from her. At first, the young woman dismissed his words as absurd, yet the fervour in his bright eyes lingered in her thoughts, refusing to fade. She saw sincerity in those eyes, and so, with a heart moved by his words, she took the first step towards uncovering the truth. Stealing the key from her father, she ventured into the deepest chamber of the temple, where she found the pale, emaciated girl, shackled and imprisoned. After learning the truth, the noblewoman returned to the scholar's cell and stood before him once more. Seeing her grave and sympathetic expression, the scholar understood that she was now ready, and so he shared with her the dark truths of the nobleman. The young man's words struck like a blade, tearing through the delicate fabric of the young woman's privileged life, exposing the grotesque reality beneath. In that moment, she began to see the dark corners of her world that had once remained hidden. She confided in her father, hoping he would release the young man. Instead, she found herself placed under house arrest, constantly watched. It was then that she realized her father had always been complicit in their suffering. Yes, there were times when they too despaired. Exhausted, much like you are now, they questioned the very meaning of their struggle. Yet, despite it all, they chose to persevere. Even in prison, the young man continued to develop his series, tirelessly sketching a vision of a new world rooted in justice and freedom. Without the support of her family, the young woman rejected the temptations of wealth, dedicating herself to uplifting the downtrodden and seeking out those willing to contribute to the cause. At first, their efforts were as subtle as the flutter of a butterfly's wings. Yet, over time, their actions stirred a storm, cracking the seemingly impenetrable structure of Elysium. Together, they became the leaders of the legendary Great Migration, leading a resistance that freed the oppressed from the grasp of Elysium.
The Elysium Resistance. The Great Migration. I've read about it in books, but they never truly achieved their vision of equality, did they?
Indeed, fate is a cruel force. It can stir a storm in the calmest of seas, or extinguish flames with the power of a tidal wave. As you've said, often our efforts yield nothing in the end. However, those glorious moments were real, and they will be eternally etched in memory. The Great Migration shed the light of courage and freedom across the Atlasia continent, piercing through the veils of deceit woven by the gods. For the first time, people were allowed to confront their own desires and emotions. Even after centuries, that spark of light endures in the weighty tomes of history, continuing to inspire those who strive towards the world envisioned by the young man and woman. You asked for my advice earlier, but having lived in seclusion for so long, I find it difficult to offer concrete guidance. What I can share with you is, the longer I have lived, the more I've come to realize that what's truly precious in life lies in those fleeting moments. The moments you fought for, what you cherish, will remain timeless, regardless of the outcome. Do not fear, nor hesitate. Within you lies extraordinary strength, and I have no doubt that you will leave an indelible mark upon the course of time. I have faith in you. For now, let us set aside the weight of our thoughts and savor this rare moment of peace together over a pot of tea.
world outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts. More expansive, yet more brutal. This cannot be its true destiny. That's why a change must...
I knew you'd bring me along.
This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves!
I'd show you some mercy.
Enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! So fun! Should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. This is so fun!
another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves!
Return to the misty sea.
Alright, that should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. Take this!
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! Should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty. So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves!
Then I might show you some mercy.
Not really. Vanish. Alright, that should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty. So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! Be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! Enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. This is so fun.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! The red time's coming! Let's play a game together!
Pathetic weaklings.
Vanish.
Should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! This is so fun! Enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves! This is so fun!
Vanish.
This is so fun! Should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. Take this.
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get there. This sword still fulfills its duty.
So, this commission is about taking out the enemies in this area? Easy peasy, time to roll up our sleeves!
Then I might show you some mercy.
Tabitha the Red Girl! That should be enough to teach him a lesson. Let's wrap this up and head back for our paycheck. Another step forward, as long as I keep proceeding. Where's next? Let me check the map. Oh, I know maps don't like me. The world outside Purgatorio Island defies all counts. More expansive, yet more brutal. This cannot be its true destiny. That's why a change must be made. This sword still fulfills its duty.
Weaklings.
Please claim your reward. Now, do you want to continue or go back?
Another step forward. As long as I keep proceeding, I'll get... Where's next? Let me check the map. Oh, I know maps don't like me.
Just give me your hand and spin around together!
I've marked it for you.
You finally got some more serum. This should keep us going a bit longer. Now, where's the nearest serum storage point around here?
Keep flying!
Return to the mystery. This is gonna hurt! Another serum storage point. I've marked it for you. Gonna knock you flying. I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Another serum storage point. I've marked it for you. We shall face together. Found a serum storage point. I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Come closer. I found a serum storage point. I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Gonna knock you flying. Found another serum storage point. I've marked it for you. This is gonna hurt. Return to the misty sea. Storage point! I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Did it not keep flying? Storage point! I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? It's gonna hurt! That's not fair! Found a serum storage point! I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Let's have a celebratory feast! No, that'd be a waste of... Where's next? Let me check the map. Oh, I know maps don't like me. The world outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts. More expansive, yet more brutal. This cannot be its true destiny.
The world outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts. More expansive, yet more brutal. This cannot be its true destiny. That's why a change must be made.
Just give me your hand and spin around together!
May you rest in peace. Sweet venom going down your throat.
Gonna knock you flying!
Sweet venom going down your throat.
This is gonna hurt! This is gonna hurt! Gonna knock you flying!
Come closer.
This is gonna hurt!
Going down your throat. Rust in the snake arrow.
This is gonna hurt!
Rust in the snake arrow.
May you rest. This is gonna hurt.
Those who harm me show no quarter.
Did it knock you flying?
Farewell.
This is gonna hurt. Did it knock you flying? This sword still fulfills its duty.
Tourniquet for hemorrhage.
Let's play a game together.
For the peace that will come in there.
Vanish.
Blood.
Vanish.
I will maintain the utmost respect for life. Anesthesia and the bride is ready.
Vanish.
I will maintain
Let's slash.
for the peace that will come on.
Vanish.
How much longer must the flames of war demand our blood? I will maintain the utmost respect.
Vanish. Not really. Demon Tabitha the Red Hand's coming. Vanish.
How much longer must the flames of war demand our blood?
set off lights. Now I'm free! This sword still fulfills its duty. Where's next? Let me check the map. Oh, I know maps don't like me. The world outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts. More expansive. Are we going on an adventure today? This is so fun!
That was way too close.
Do not lay your guard down. The upper seal is still unstable. I can feel it shifting. I must maintain the formation here. I cannot leave my post. Can any of you go up and inspect the situation?
Leave it to me, Proprietress Zhilyu.
What are you doing here? Your commission was already completed. I explicitly told Wang Chun to have you wait in a chamber until I returned.
Things seem heated in here. I couldn't just sit and do nothing. I had to see if there was anything I could help with.
Consider it premium after-sales service, Fox Hunter style, and we're good. You can count on us, Proprietress Zhilyu. She is as nimble as can be. Spins, flips, leaps, no obstacle too high for my little minion.
If you insist. Dooley, take the wounded and leave first.
Yes, Miss Zhilyu.
Take this copper coin. Place it on Druin's forehead. I'll handle the rest. Be careful. Don't let yourself get hurt.
O soul adrift, to the north thou stray, to hunt the blight where shadows lay. Bound by Julian, thee and I bear the doom till time should die.
That voice again. The same one I heard back in the Griplight Expanse. So it really was the whispers of Juin.
What is it?
Nothing.
shattered soul, the past doth wane. Foundations crumble, lost in vain, through realms forlorn.
Can you hear me? You were trying to say something to us, weren't you?
During is spent. Its power's almost gone. We'll be counting on you to deliver the final strike.
Henceforth, the 9 chapters of Dafeng stand complete. The folk of Huaxu shall dwell in peace, free from war's cruel hand, and spare the scourge of strife. Tai Hao shall govern the law, Zhu Ying shall govern the mind. 2 revered deities bound by covenant. Together, ye shall watch o'er the 9 chapters of Dafeng, safeguard the myriad beings, and shield the ages to come.
The mind is the root of all chaos. 'Tis the turmoil within men's hearts that have plunged Huaxu into unending war. Upon this day shall Juyin be sealed. Only a law unswayed by mortal sentiment is fit to hold dominion over the world.
Nay, ye must not. When mind and law stand sundered, ruin shall know no end.
Back off! This right must not be marred. For centuries thereafter, the sable beyond arose. Calamity loomed in the shadows. Ruin we see today, sown at distance. Ying springs from the depths of the mortal heart. So long as human desire endures, how can Ying be truly done? To seal it by secret arts is but to ladle water upon a boiling pot. Once spent, it shall rise anew, a hidden canker in the bone, sure to fester into grievous affliction.
Who might decree the weaving of fates, of sunderings and partings? Who roves forlorn, tarrying in lands beyond all chartings?
Juin, were those your memories? What is it you're trying to tell me?
All is done. Beyond recall, a doom shall befall the world. In this
Little minion, you alright?
I'm fine. I think I just saw something
Like memory fragments.
Everyone, strike now while it's still restrained. This is our only chance to bring it down.
Draw nigh and be smitten by the divine eye.
Today. The world outside Purgatorio Island defies all accounts.
Let's go.
Draw nigh and be smitten by divine ire.
Surrender. Tear you apart.
Let's quickly get this over with and go home.
Tear you apart. Those who harm you will be shown no quarter. May you rest in peace. Surrender.
Farewell.
Those who harm you will be shown no quarter. Tear you apart.
shown no quarter.